Hey everyone, it's Gimp from THC Digest. How y'all doing? Uh, I just wanted to make my first video to sort of introduce myself so you know who's behind THC Digest. You can see what sort of person I am. I'm 29 years old. I'm from Seattle. Uh, I have my marijuana card. I really haven't been using very long, only about 3.5 years or so. When I was growing up, um, I definitely was taught that marijuana is like one of the worst things you can do for yourself. Um, if you used it, that you're gonna amount to nothing. I was told that by my parents. I was told that by the anti-drug programs and all that, and I totally bought it. So, but as I got older, I started to realize that it was all a ruse. You know, someone using marijuana, it doesn't say much about that person, I don't think. I think each person is their own individual, and marijuana isn't really an indication one way or another of what type of person you are. So, um, about 3.5 years ago, I moved in with my girlfriend, and I had never used, but she was a user. So it was only a matter of time before she got me using too, and I love her for it. So, um, I just think it's, a great thing because it just allows you to stop, relax, and sort of reflect on your life and think if there's any sort of changes you want to make or anything like that. At least that's why I like it. I mean, it's probably different for everyone, but um, so because I started using it so much, um, I wanted to find out for sure um, what I might be doing to myself, what effects, using so much might have on me. And when I started doing that research, I was making a blog about it and site about all the research I was doing. And surprisingly, I actually found there weren't many articles that talked about the negative effects. Most of them were talking about how positive marijuana use is, which is pretty surprising to me. But now, it's not really that surprising to me anymore. Now I realize there's just a lot of disinformation about marijuana, and that's why I created THC Digest to give people a more objective picture about what marijuana use does, and just talk about marijuana advocacy and such. I mean, I think it's kind of strange that we live in a country or really a world, where someone can drink alcohol and alcohol use leads to a lot of deaths, leads to violence, and that's perfectly legal. Whereas marijuana use, those things don't really happen, but yet it's illegal. I think it's kind of a backwards mentality, a very old-fashioned mentality. So I'm hoping that by giving out the information I do, I can help promote marijuana awareness and say, it's not really that bad, and a person should be able to choose for themselves what they want to put into their body. And marijuana is not that bad anyway, so it's kind of ridiculous. So, so I started out as a research project, like I said, but now I actually got pretty good responses from people saying they really liked what I was talking about. So I decided to expand on the site, and um, I started, really focusing on teaching people how to grow marijuana because when I started using it a lot, it cost me a ton of money. I went, I can't do this forever, so it's draining too much of my money. So I learned how to grow, and um, you know, it's really so easy once you get the hang of it. I mean, it's a little daunting at first, but um, once you do it, you're like, God, why didn't I start growing sooner? You know, it's really not that hard. And the amount of money you save, you know, I just think everyone should. So if you want to see more about, um, you know, my growing, I give a free marijuana growing guide and all that. So just come to THC Digest, you can get that. I also talk a little bit about vaporization. I actually think, as far as using every day, I think it's probably more wise to vaporize than to smoke. I mean, I'm not saying people shouldn't smoke, but I just think, as everyday use, vaporizing just makes more sense because you're not exposing yourself to as many toxins. Um, and I plan to expand even further, to talk about, you know, the legalization issues, what's going on as far as, you know, how states are tackling that issue and such. And hopefully, you know, in the next 5, 10 years, we might even see a federal legalization. That would be nice. But if you want to know more, if you want to learn about, you know, just marijuana, and I try to be as objective as possible. I don't want to be too biased. So if you want to learn about it, then just go to my website. It's THC Digest, and the website's thcdigest.com. And just check it out. And hopefully there's something there that you like. I hope to see you there. Thanks.